I'm Bo,
I'm Dan.
and tonight's movie is Good Will Hunting, starring and written by Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and with Robin Williams, R.I.P.
For real. And the freaking Bootstrap Bill. Whatever that guy's name is.
The Thor doctor guy is playing another doctor scientist dude. He's mathematician.
He's also an Andor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Luther.
He's Luther in
It's
Andor.
actually his little monologue in the first season's sick.
He's a great actor.
But we sacrificed everything.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is good. What are your, I guess, general thoughts on the movie?
I liked it.
Yeah?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie. I was engaged the whole time. I think that Will's character is really interesting, and you're like compelled to root for him the whole time, and you're really frustrated when he acts like a moron
Yeah.
because you know how much potential he does have.
Yeah.
I think the music was weird. I really didn't. I feel like the music was constantly like out of place, and I could have done with a lot less swearing, but I think for the time period and where they are,
Culture really captures the culture, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
it's like, okay, that's probably how people like that actually spoke. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they still speak like that.
Like the song, the end kind of worked for me, but yeah, that's all my thoughts about the music. I didn't really have much to say. It seemed pretty forgettable. Nothing, I guess, stuck out to me. Yeah, language. I mean, I definitely had thoughts about just the idea of, can you just imagine your life being talking like that to your friends, to each other, and it's like normal and fine,
Yeah.
but also it's just like, just not a way I really want to live at all.
No, you just beat people up for no reason.
Just drink and smoke
Mm-hmm.
is, smoking while you're drinking, drinking while you're smoking.
Yeah, I think that's one of the other things that I feel like I love the movie and I love the concept of it, but like there's just a lot of like, I don't know, it's a very real movie, and I think that's what I like about it, but I also feel like there's only one person who you're actually like, yeah, this seems like a good guy about the whole thing, and like everyone else around them is just kind of a scumbag.
Yeah, and that being Will.
No.
Oh, what do you say?
What's his name?
The doctor or the
Robin Williams character?
yeah. What is his
Sean.
name? Sean. Yeah.
Sean is awesome.
Sean.
He's like a light in a just world of darkness, and I love every scene with Sean. He's amazing. He's great.
I liked the movie. Definitely engaged me the whole time, like
Yeah.
you mentioned. Definitely wanted to see, like, yeah, where is he going to go with his life?
Yeah.
We're going into spoilers for this movie, so check us out on Real Legends Podcast on YouTube and real.legends.pod on Instagram, and share our show with a friend and subscribe and like, because it helps grow the show and it gets the algorithm going for us, so we appreciate it.
Will's introduction is really interesting because he gets introduced with his like as a janitor, and you almost think the story is going to be about like not him at first. He's like this like janitor kid, and then you realize he's like a genius, and then you're like, oh cool, the movie's going to be all about how he embraces his ability, and then the movie ends up being like he literally runs as fast as he can away from his ability.
Yeah, it is weird. You're right, because like maybe some other like more how would you say it, like inspirational movies or something would be like, yeah, he was a janitor and then like somebody saw his potential and then he rose up and he accomplished great things. He had some challenges though he had to overcome, but then
Right.
at the end of the day he was very successful.
Yep.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Cinderella story or
Mhm.
like, so
And
yeah,
that's
it's not that.
Yeah, not at all.
It's
It's
not
not that at all. And it's kind of an interesting thing when he's like, you see him be this super genius, and then the next scene you see him beating some guy up to a pulp
Yeah.
just because he beat him up as a kid.
Yeah, and it's like that where are they from? Brooklyn or
Boston.
Boston? Yeah, Boston culture where it's kill or be killed. Like you beat someone up or you get beat up. So you better go out and make a name for yourself as someone that's gonna beat you up so someone doesn't come beat you up.
Yeah, and like he has a rap sheet that's super big, and then he goes to jail again, and it's like, geez, man, like this genius kid that we're supposed to be rooting for is like a freaking menace.
Yeah, I want to get your take on this scene where they go and jump this kid that they saw at a baseball game.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he used to beat me up in kindergarten. And then they see him while they're driving down the street. He's like, they're driving. And he's like, hold up. And so his buddy, Ben Affleck, slows down the car and reverses, and they jump out. But at first, it's just two of them jumps out because one of them doesn't want to go. And
yeah.
Ben Affleck's like, if you don't go out there when I'm done with them, I'm coming back for you to beat your A.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to get your take on this whole scene, like that with the friends, and then also just like your take on like, would you go out and just like jump 4 guys with you and 3 of your friends?
No, obviously not. But if I was raised in this situation and I was that kid, then yeah.
Probably, yeah, probably.
100%. Because all my friends are out there and I'm not going to let them get beaten up.
Right.
You know?
That's the question I kind of asking about too is, yeah, this idea like the 4th one doesn't want to go. It's actually Casey Affleck. It's Ben Affleck's brother in real life. He doesn't want to go. He's like, I'm just going to sit out or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like if you don't, like, you got to have your friends back.
Yeah.
You can't just like, we're going out there, we might lose.
I thought that was interesting because when the scientist and Sean are talking, the scientist calls Will's friends retarded gorillas. And he says any one of those retarded gorillas would pick up a baseball bat and smack you in the head if you said something about Will in front of them or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he just talked about like the value of loyalty.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because as the movie goes on, you realize that that's what Will values most is loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And he constantly thinks people are going to be disloyal to him.
Yeah. Except
for these guys. And so he's got like these boys who he knows are going to be loyal with him like no matter what. And like they beat people up together. And so it's like, yeah, we're thick as thieves.
Yeah.
And so that's like become his family because he is an orphan.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like he values that. Like, this is my perspective is he values that, and he is tight with them and will spend time with them. But it's almost like kind of like a cop out or shield because he knows he doesn't ever have to really go deep with them because they're not very deep people.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I can pick up a book and read it in 2 seconds and tell you everything about this, or I just, from all the reading and things I've done, I can pretty much do anything when it comes to like logic or math or things or science.
Yeah.
And but I don't have to do that with you guys. So it's like an easy way just to kind of hide.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. It's really cool to look into Will's life as the movie goes on to see his, like how he was abandoned and then his foster dad would beat him up and how like his whole life he's just had abandoned, like people have just abandoned him over and over and over again. So he just
betrayed trust.
Yeah. And so he just refuses to let himself do anything. Like, I was born here, I'm going to die here, I'm going to work in construction, this is great, I'm going to, stay right here.
Yeah.
Because if he tries to do something else, it might fail. If he tries to make something of himself, he might get rejected. If he tries to love a woman, she might break up with him first. And so better just to not do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this kind of, I don't know what kind of question it is, but this thing that they're battling with in the movie between Sean, Will, and the professor that finds his genius because he solves a chalkboard equation is this person could be a great gift and asset to the world and improving our understanding of the world and natural law and different things. Is it kind of right for us to push him towards that? Or do we, I don't know what he is accusing Sean of doing, like protecting him or like saying it's okay to not go and use your genius, like you can just live a normal life I guess that's kind of what it is.
I think, yeah.
Like use your abilities to better mankind, or like, hey, you don't owe it to anyone. You can just go be a normal blue collar worker.
I think what Sean's trying to say in that scene in the bar with the sandwiches, I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, just kind of all of it.
Is he understands that he has tons of potential, but he knows that if he pushes him too much, then it will push him away.
Yeah, I get kind of, I think the professor thinks that's what, what I laid out is what's happening, but what you laid out, I think, is what actually is happening, which is Sean knows, like, this kid needs to kind of heal and be okay with himself emotionally, or else if you push him into one of these jobs, or, to be this great asset to the world, he might break.
Yeah.
And he might run away. He might distrust you. He might, example of the Unabomber. He's like, this guy was smart, got pushed to go do great things, and guess what? He ended up blowing people up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I like this scene a lot where Sean and Will's first interaction, and Will starts kind of like trying to wreck Sean. Because Will does not want to be with the therapist at all. He's messing with all the therapists. He's like, we're not doing this. This is nonsense, or this is nonsense.
Yeah.
And then finally he finds Sean, and Sean is like a little different. And then I think Will kind of sees some weakness in Sean and just goes for it.
Yeah, goes for the jugular.
And then Sean retaliates. And it's interesting because I feel like that kind of shows some respect. Like Will's like, okay,
right,
I can respect him now because he's going to choke me out.
Yeah.
And then the scene, it's my favorite monologue in the whole movie, is when they're on the bench by the lake. It's cool because it's all in one shot too. Robin Williams did it in one shot.
Yeah, it's a long take. You noticed that,
which is awesome.
Yeah,
which is so sick.
Camera's on him for like several minutes.
Yeah, and he's talking all about how you might know all this, you might know like all of this knowledge, but like you still are incapable of talking about yourself.
Yeah, and you haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Even though you know all these things, like you haven't experienced them.
Yeah.
You haven't experienced what it's like to let someone in and be vulnerable and have a relationship, or go to the Sistine Chapel.
I want to like reread his whole thing because it's so good. At the end of it, like Will doesn't even say anything back. He just like, that's the end of the scene. And it's funny because that's like the way it's cool, because like Will understands Sean, because Sean speaks to Will like Will understands. He's just very direct. Yeah. And it's just like, here's all the things that you're doing. Right. Instead of trying to like hypnotize him or, play games
into
with
your
him.
childhood and what was it like? Yeah, like
like, you know all this stuff, but you don't know any of it because you have no experience. You're a kid.
Yeah, I like that when he comes back to him after the first kind of argument when they first meet. And he meets with him again, and he's like, what you said, like, I thought about it a lot. What Sean's telling Will this. And he's like, and I stayed up a long time thinking about it. And we see that. There's a shot of Sean, like, sitting at his kitchen table. And it's like, what he said was, a lot of it was hurtful, or, like, maybe disrespectful to him and his wife, who's passed away. And so he reflects on it, though. He doesn't just, like, throw it out or ignore it or just say, I'm never talking to this kid again. Mm-hmm. He actually thinks about it. And then he comes to the conclusion, like, what I realized is you're just a scared kid. Like, in not a condescending way. It's just like, I need to realize and see, like, even though you did things that were very wrong to me, you're just a kid. Mm-hmm. You don't have experience. You haven't gone anywhere. I've been in war. I've been in love. I've been across the world. You've never left Boston, but you're very, very bright. You're a genius. But I've got to work with you because in some ways you don't know any better. You said do these hurtful things because you're so smart. You think you can just analyze and pick me apart, but you're not really mature in the ways of being emotionally mature to share yourself or to let people in or to be honest. Yeah, kind of interesting.
You're so defensive that you've never actually lived life. And I think it's like that really gets to him, even though like in the scene you don't really see it. But it's really cool to see them kind of like bond over the different sessions and see how a patient man who's willing to go the distance with somebody else can bring out a lot of good. Sean does an immense amount of good for Will.
Yeah.
And it's because Sean is really, 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 really patient with him.
Yeah, and I would even venture to say, like, he loves, out of love, he works and stays with him, and that love and care brings about something good.
It's cool, too, because he's not like, I love you, giving him hugs and stuff. It's, like, so direct, and he's, like, so poignant with it. Yeah. He's so direct with Will. Tells him exactly what he needs to hear. Yeah. Every single time.
Yeah, when I said love, that's, and I don't mean like, lovey-dovey, like coddling and being nice or kind. I mean love as in, I care about you enough to come back and show up each time, to listen and ask questions, and
be direct.
Yeah, to be direct.
Tell you what's what. Yeah, right? What's going on.
Because, if you care about someone and you don't, sometimes correct or point out things, then it's like, do you really care? Like, wouldn't you want to say something to someone if you knew that you could help them or point something out that was going to hurt them or that's going to keep them back? Like, you got to tell them, like, hey, this could help you. Here it is, straightforward.
I like his style of therapy too, because I feel like if that's what typical therapy was, then it'd be really useful. Like, genuinely, like, telling people exactly what they need to hear constantly, and then also helping them see themselves. Because what the cool thing is that, and this is something I kind of connected, dating is also therapy in a way, because you're putting yourself out there often, and so it's constant self-analyzation. You're constantly learning things about yourself when you're dating. So when he goes out with this girl, he starts to kind of like, he flirts with her a bit, he gets the goodnight kiss, and then he's like, okay, this is cool, whatever. And then he doesn't call her, because that would require any amount of emotional depth, and he's just not willing to do that. But then Sean convinces him that he should give it a try. And then slowly, as that goes on, he notices things about himself, like he lies about his brothers. Yeah. He notices, like, he has a really big hatred for rich people. Yeah. And you as the audience start to notice this stuff too. Yeah. And you're like, wow, like, there's a lot of depth to Will because he's letting this person get close to him, and she is asking meaningful questions of him. So I thought that was interesting, that, like, a way that he actually opens up and grows is by being with a woman. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. And he wouldn't have done that unless Sean had talked to him about his wife.
Right, because when you say he, like, encourages him, it's almost like he's encouraging him by his example, right? Because he's saying, like, yeah, I did this because I loved her and because I had to try, because if I didn't try, then I would have never known. I would have just been like, yeah, there was a girl one time and I didn't talk to her. Yeah. And that's the end of the story. But instead, the story is, yeah, there's a girl and I talked to her and we were married for 18 years.
Yeah. And he's even like, amazed that he would have lost the baseball game to go see this woman. Yeah. Right. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, Sean is showing Will through his own life story. It's very interesting. He's not preaching to him the principles. He's just telling him his life story and what he's learned. And then Will's able to go out and learn that on his own. But Will still does it super wrong, because he ends up kind of falling in love with this girl, sort of, but he still has tons of guards up. Yeah. But then he lies to her constantly, and then that whole scene where she's like, I want you to come to California with me. That's a very good scene. Yeah. It's a very good scene.
Yeah. It's tough.
And, they talk about his issues, and we in the audience get to realize more and more that, like, he is just so petrified
and guarded,
to just do anything. And then she says, if you don't love me, just tell me. He just says, I don't love you, and walks out. And it's like, oh. Yeah.
Knife to her heart.
Oh, that scene is brutal, man. I was so sad for her.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I don't even, like, super love her. She's okay. But, yeah, that was brutal for me to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, oh. The fact that, like, she's fallen for you and put that out there, and then you just say, I don't love you.
Brutal.
When you can tell it's not the truth. Just from what you've seen of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, he just refuses to let anybody get close to him.
Yeah.
it's interesting that like what you tell yourself and how you act around people really affects how they feel about you. And if you're constantly pushing people away, then no one will want to be around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely a life truth that whatever you send out will return unto you again.
Yeah.
And like, as a man thinketh, right? Like, if you think you're a failure, you're going to be a failure. He thinks like bad things will happen if you trust and build relationship with new people.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let them know who you really are. Let them know about your past. Like, they won't like you. They won't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll leave or they'll hurt you.
Yeah.
So he thinks that. And so it's not that that thing necessarily happens, I guess, but it keeps anything from happening, good or bad.
Right. I love the scene like where the professor and him. I loved all the professor and Sean scenes. Again, every scene with Sean is so good. But when the professor and Sean are arguing in Sean's office, and like they both want what's best for Will, but Sean knows Will, and he loves Will, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's not ready. You're gonna push him away. He's a good kid. Let me keep working with him, kind of a thing. Like, I love that scene. And then Will walks in, and Will just saw that this guy was like going to bat for him.
Yeah.
And then that scene where he says it's not your fault, and Will kind of brushes it off.
Right.
But then Sean keeps going and going and going, and then Will just breaks down. And it's like, dang, his whole life he's been telling himself that it is his fault. Like, not only like did these bad things happen and people will push me away if I tell them, so I need to push them away first. It's my fault that these things happened.
Yeah.
Like, my parents didn't love me. I wasn't a good kid. I'm not a good person.
My foster parents abused me because I was not a good kid.
Yeah.
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 And I deserve these things, and like I don't deserve to have a good relationship with a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Sheesh. Brutal movie.
It's so brutal, and like you wouldn't expect him to have so much down inside him, but he does. And again, the only way that it's opened up is through Sean. And through Sean just being direct and patient and loving and listening.
Yeah. Yeah, you could almost say only by persuasion, by long suffering, by gentleness, by meekness, by love unfeigned, by kindness, and pure knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly saw a lot of Jesus in Sean. Like, I kept thinking, I'm like, there should be like a moment where like they talk about Jesus. There should be something coming up about Jesus. And it didn't come, and I was like, well, darn. But Sean is like absolutely like a redeemer type figure.
Yeah.
That walks Will through his trial. And it's really cool to see.
Yeah. And is his advocate as well.
Yeah.
It's a cool movie. It's I had never seen, so audience, I'd never seen this movie fully. I'd seen some scenes before, but so this is my first time watching it all the way through, and it's a lot to take in. It's emotionally kind of all there on the screen for us, and yeah, you feel it.
Talking about emotion too, though, is that you get to know Sean really well as well. Like, Sean's wife dies. He isn't as successful as the people who he went to school with, and so he has a lot of like insecurities about being a failure. He misses his wife like crazy, and you can just tell like that he really gets a lot of meaning from being with Will, though.
Yeah.
And like, that's really cool to
Which
see.
I think is true to life.
Yeah.
It's like giving, not that it's like a charity thing, but helping other people and like using your skills to help other people, which Sean does have good skills for what he's doing, is it's a good thing. You feel fulfillment.
Yeah.
Like you're like doing what you're meant to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and you feel a lot for Sean too when he's talking about his wife, and it's cool because Will actually helps him as well. Will says to him like, this is a fascinating thing because you'd expect that Sean to kind of be like this know-it-all and say to Will, you don't know what you're talking about. Like when Will says, you you got a bad hand, and then you threw away the cards.
Yeah, you walked away from the table.
Yeah.
You never put any money back in.
And then when he also says, like, the stuff about his wife, like, he also reflects on that. Like,
Yeah.
they're both teaching each other, and they're both seeing each other's flaws. But, like, as they just keep going, they develop, like, this mad respect for each other. And, yeah, like, Will actually helps Sean out a lot, too, to, like, embrace his new life.
Yeah.
And to, like, try again, put the cards back on the table. Like,
that's what's interesting about Sean's character is,
Yeah.
like, he could easily, like I kind of said earlier and you're saying, I think, like, he could easily, like, kick back against Will and be like, I'm the adult. I'm the experienced one. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to just push out everything you said. But instead, he takes it in. And he's
Yeah.
like, okay, is there something to this? Do I need to change? You know, am I making excuses for my life? Am
Yeah.
I, you know, do I feel like sorry for myself or anything, or like that I'm not as accomplished as I should be?
Yeah.
And he actually receives the criticism.
Yeah.
And like tests it to see if there's
Right.
anything there.
Right. It's very cool to see.
It's humble.
If every therapist was like Sean, we'd be sitting pretty in America. But too bad most therapists will just give you drugs and send you on your merry way. Or they'll, even worse, they'll just validate all your feelings
Yeah.
instead of actually encouraging you to be better and to improve and to look deeply inside yourself to find out what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They just say, well, I totally get what you feel. And then, like, that's it.
Mm. Yeah, I can't speak for all therapists, but just like anything else, I like what Jordan Peterson said, actually. He said, no doctor is not worse than a bad doctor. I don't know if that's exactly how he said it, but the point is what he's saying is you could be much worse off having a bad doctor than having no doctor.
Yes.
Much, much, much worse off.
Yes.
So you're better off not having any doctor if it's a bad doctor that's going to misdiagnose you or tell you lies or give you things you don't need.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, very, would you say, destructive or bad for you.
Yep.
So I really liked that he said that as a doctor himself. And it's just a truth. Like, you know, you don't know what kind of wackos or just, what would you say, negligent or just not smart people are going to tell you.
Or intentionally malicious, where they get a kickback for all the drugs that they get you to be on.
Sure.
The more drugs they get you to use, the more money they make.
Exactly.
And
that's a truth. That's out there.
Jordan Peterson also talks a lot about how a good therapy session is just an honest conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's with somebody who might challenge your ideas, but will also listen to you when you're speaking. And validating people's feelings is important as long as it's paired with the truth.
Yeah.
Because if I'm saying, well, I feel really annoyed and I feel really hurt, it's like, okay, you do feel that way. However, let's think about a little bit deeper into this.
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing? What can you do in your own life that can avoid those things? And walk you through, like, how to improve. Yeah. And I feel like Sean does a really good job at that. Like, he helps him understand, but he's also firm and direct with him enough that he can see where he, like, has these flaws. But then he also works through him and tells him that, like, he still has meaning and it's not his fault. And like, because you want to reinforce the positive beliefs people have in themselves, and you want to reinforce the true beliefs people have of themselves, even if those beliefs can kind of be self-deprecating, because that can be helpful. What you don't want to do is validate false beliefs that people have of themselves.
Sure.
So he's telling himself, if I let anybody into my life,
bad things happen.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
And so that's what he dispels quickly. If I...
Tries to, anyway.
Yeah, tries to.
Or like, yeah, pointing him that way.
Yeah, and then also, everything that's happened in my life is my fault is also false. That's also not a true statement or true belief. And so he pushes him away from that as well. So it's like re-emphasizing the true beliefs and then pushing away from false beliefs is like what therapy is all about. You reaffirm what's true and then you get rid of what's false. Yeah. And sometimes the reaffirmation of things that are true can be hurtful because it's like to look deeply into yourself is hard.
Yeah. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to really grow and be healthy. Just be honest about who you are, what you've done, and then just be honest about it, and you can change.
I remember
things differently.
listening to this kid once complain about how he felt left out, and it was at church, and it was like, yeah, maybe we could do better at reaching out to him and trying to make him feel more comfortable. Problem was too, though, is that every time someone would try to get close to him and be friends with him, he would be rude to them.
Yeah.
And he would like snap back in some kind of way. And so it's like, it's really hard for people to get close to you when you treat them like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we should be nice to you, but at the same time, your actions also affect how people act around you.
Absolutely.
And
I've always said, if you want good friends, be a good friend.
Yeah.
That's the sure way to have good friends.
Mm-hmm. If you want to have a good relationship,
be a good partner.
Be a good partner.
Yeah, be a good side of the relationship for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll draw people to you.
Yeah. Overall, I think this is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I just want to hit the story questions unless you have anything else.
Yeah, I think it's Will's story, but it's also Sean's. Will wants to be safe and have fun.
Okay.
That's like what he wants.
Okay.
He needs to let people into his life and embrace his potential by taking a risk.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I pretty much agree with you all the way. I'd say maybe with the need, definitely needs to like let people in and share who he really is. Kind of overcome that what do they call it? Like a false belief of if I do this, this happens, right? Like if I let people in, bad things happen.
Yeah.
He has to overcome that. What was your second part to that? It was anyway. Yeah.
I need.
Yeah.
He needs to embrace his potential.
Yeah, embrace his potential.
Take a risk.
Yeah.
Like actually get out there and try something.
Yeah. I would agree with that then. Because like in the end, he doesn't actually like take one of the big prestigious jobs. He goes chasing the girl, but that's for him. That's like what he needs. He needs to let someone in. He needs to be honest with them. He needs to share himself.
And it's a risk to drive out to California for this girl who you kind of destroyed.
But he has potential that out there he could maybe easily get a good job, or he could work a construction job. Like what he could find work.
All he could
He's
do.
capable.
He could find a janitor job at Stanford.
Sure.
And walk up and solve something there, and the whole movie starts over, and it's called Bad Will Hunting.
Because we let you have that once, but not again.
Hold on, is it a legend or letdown?
Oof.
I think it's a legend.
Yeah, I think it's a legend.
If I had to pick one.
Yeah. It's a movie that I feel like I definitely love a lot of the monologues.
Yeah.
Don't know that I would always sit down and watch the whole movie, but I love the monologues. Obviously, Robin Williams killed it.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, great job.
Absolutely.
Ben Affleck, he's all right. He does good. He's fine.
I think it's a legend, just because I think everyone should watch it at least once.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I don't know if it's like one of my favorites. I think again, just for me, like it's just like the swearing. It's just like too much. Like
the whole culture of it is just kind of hard to observe and be a part of, because it's like it's not a culture I necessarily want to be a part of.
Yeah. I'm one that tries to not swear, but I have a problem. And so when I watch a movie like this and they're just going at it, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, sure.
I shouldn't be watching this. It's going to make me want to do it.
Just like when we watch mafia movies, Dan wants to be a freaking mafia boss.
Exactly. I want to be in a freaking smoke-filled room at a poker table and go, hey, what's the big idea?
Exactly. Or bring me the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. I would say legend. And for score, what do you got?
I think it's a 7.5.
That's honestly exactly what I had in my mind.
Yeah.
7.5. And
it's a good movie.
Yeah. I would recommend if you haven't seen it at least once, but not a movie I would put on repeat.
It's actually insanely highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, 97%.
Letterboxd 4.4. That's huge for Letterboxd.
That is crazy.
Because you don't get a lot of things like close to 4.5 on Letterboxd that I've really seen.
So we're actually kind of on the lower end of.
And that's just like, yeah, for me it's like I don't think it's like as good as The Sting. I don't think it's as good as Interstellar
or Star Wars.
Yeah, or Star Wars. Yeah. Though I think it's good.
Yeah, I liked it. At the end, I was like, "Dang, what an interesting movie!" And I feel like there's probably a lot more to explore. Like, it'd be fun to watch him. I was telling Bo this while we were watching. It'd be fun to watch this movie with somebody who knows math to see if what he was doing was real. But it'd also be fun to watch somebody who's like a trained therapist or psychologist to get their understanding of like the different tactics that are used and whether or not like what Sean did was actually like effective. Because obviously in the movie it was, but I wonder if you took that kind of tactic to your everyday run-of-the-mill person, if it would work.
Right. Thank you for joining us on Real Legends Podcast. Be sure to comment your takes on the movie, and we'll read them on the show. And give us some love. Share this with a friend who loves movies, or subscribe, comment. Anything to activate the algorithm helps grow the show, so be active out there for us. We appreciate it. We'll see you at the movie concession stand.
Catch you on the flippity flop.